So today we're going to talk about 3 new releases. Calumet 18, Old Fitzgerald 7-year bottle and bond, and Maker's Mark's newest release, their wheat whiskey, Starhill Farms. All right, let's start with Old Fitzgerald 7. You may have seen this fancy decanter bottle in a store near you, or if you haven't, just wait a second, it's coming. Do not overspend. This is Heaven Hill's Old Fitzgerald series. It's their youngest. I like to call it Young Fitz. Ba-doom-tsh. 7 years. Bottle and bond, so it's 100 proof. It's got the fancy wooden cap, the nice little decanter bottle, 7-year age statement, and I think it's available around that $55, $60 price limit. Let's get into it. It's got a nice cherry nose, nice light oak. I really like the nose on this. Let's get into the sip. Yeah, so little honey, little oak. The cherry kind of comes in a little later, but I'm actually really impressed with the viscosity. You know, there's some legs on this pour. A little bit of like the honey nut flavor here at the end. You can kind of tell that this is, you know, a younger version of some of those fancy decanter bottles with the older age statements. But I mean, for the price, I really like this bottle. You're seeing some places, I think it's starting to go down now, but you're seeing some places where, you know, this bottle is being priced at like $150 and it's got the fancy bag. You know, I would say just wait. This is going to be a shelfer. I really like this bottle, though. I'm really impressed with the mouthfeel. It's a good pour for that price. So I would call this a buy. Cheers. Look at this thing. I actually really love this bottle. Maybe you can see that there. Look at that top. It's like a really heavy, almost like a stone feeling on the top here. Maker's Mark, this is their first foray into a wheat whiskey, so it is not a bourbon. Let's look at the mash bill here. It's a 51% soft red winter wheat, 27% malted soft red winter wheat, and 22% malted barley. So there's some malt in here, and I believe this was locally grown. Yeah, it says there right there, in Starhill Farms. So if you've ever had the tour, you know about Starhill Farms. But let's get into it, you know? That's what it's about, right? We're going to taste this. It's got a really beautiful color. It's got this bright red, you know, reddish brown hue. It's really, really nice pour here. Take a look. Also, I hope you like this thing. I just got this. Pretty cool. Let's check out the nose. Oh man, like strawberries and cream. Oh man, that is a great nose. Some, you know, like almost like dark fruit, like light red fruit, like that strawberry, light cherry. I really love this nose. Let's get into it. Yeah, and you get that strawberry. Yeah. You get a light caramel sort of drizzle, vanilla, ice cream. Again, like with strawberries, like strawberry sort of like syrup. Also a really good mouthfeel. What's the proof on this here? We are at 114.7 proof, which I think is really perfect for this bottle. I think the price point, I got this from the Maker's Mark drop, the whiskey drop. So this is from them, delivered to like only 4 places. I'm lucky to live in one of the places they deliver to, for I think $110. I've heard it's going for 99 in some places, and I've seen this guy go up secondary $250. People really are wanting this. I think this is going to be available a lot more if you just wait. Let me sip it again. Again, a really nice sweetness. I get that sort of berry, the strawberry is what I keep going back to, right? It's not a dark cherry. It's like it's a lighter red fruit with a creaminess to it. Just a really nice pour. As you can see, I've already kind of done some damage. I have shared this. I got this about a week ago. This is super drinkable. This is one of those that you're gonna grab over and over. You're not going to be disappointed if you pay $100 for this bottle. I will venture to say. So, again, Starhill Farms, Maker's Mark's newest release. Very impressed. Let's get to the next one, though. This is great. Great pour. All right. I cannot show you this bottle without showing you the vampire box. As my buddy Hack would call it, the vampire box. Look at that. Look at this thing. Look at it. Look at that. Very impressive. This is Calumet 18. Take a look at that beautiful bottle. They spared no expense with this, and they also spared no expense in my pocketbook. Yes, I paid for all these. No one's sending me anything at this point. Let me move this out of the way here. But this Calumet 18, I'd heard a lot about it. I got it for around $425. Yes, that's very expensive. This is, though, an 18-year Kentucky age-stated whiskey. Let's see, what's our proof here? 118 proof. I love that proof. And this was a tough decision for me because it's a lot of money. I had heard great things about it from people that I trusted, and I splurged. Let's try it. Enough of me yapping about why. I bought it. That's what matters. You want to know what it tastes like and if it's worth it. I will say, no matter how good this is, at that price point, it becomes tricky, right? That's an expensive bottle. It better be damn good. For me, with whiskey, and I love whiskey, and I've been buying whiskey for a long time, the price point of diminishing returns, right, where once I spend that, it tends to not be worth it right at around, once you get around that 150 over, it's hard to find a whiskey over that price point that's gonna be worth it, right? There are some of those out there. And for something like this special, I took a gamble. Let's see what it's like. Oh, man. So the nose on this is unbelievable. It is cherry cola. I said this in the Hack and Mack live stream when I cracked it. I love that nose. Oh yeah, you get those like deep dark cherry, just oak. You get the cola, sort of that dark caramel vanilla cola note. It's hard for me to sort of explain anymore, but this is just a beautiful nose. All right. Is it a $425 nose? I don't know. Maybe. Let's see how it tastes. So, oh man. This is a wonderful, wonderful pour. The palate matches the nose, so I get that cherry. I really get it goes into vanilla, and then you get some of that oak, some of that charred oak, actually, which is a criticism of this bottle from my friend Anthony, who has much better palate and experience in whiskey than me. He wasn't a huge fan of this guy. He doesn't really like that oaked charred note a lot, and when it leans in too heavily, he's not a fan. So if that's something that you don't really like, you may not want to spend the big bucks on this. For me, I love those intense dark flavors. I love a bit of barrel char as long as it is, I think, complemented, and that's what this whiskey does really well. Let me try it again. Yeah, I love the intensity of that charred oak with the sweet dark cherry, right? This is not a maraschino cherry, right? The cheap cherries you get from the grocery store. This is like Luxardo cherry syrup, the expensive kind of cherries you use on like the fancy Manhattans, you know? It is that note, right? It is perfectly balanced with that deep, dark, charred oak. And then as those two complement each other, you know, you get a rush of that vanilla bean, and it keeps going. It's still going right now. The finish is very impressive, right? So if you spend a lot of money on a bottle, you want to be able to sip this thing. You don't want it to disappear. It's not disappearing. This is a really well done, beautifully crafted whiskey. Is it expensive? Yes. Is it maybe the most expensive bottle I've purchased? Yes. Very close, if not the one. Am I disappointed? No. And that is quite the statement, right? I love these notes. For me, this is right in my wheelhouse. I've been lucky enough to try Jack 14 this year, which people are saying whiskey of the year. I love Jack Daniel's. It's one of my favorites. I'm a Tennessee boy, my favorite distillery. This competes, if not beats, Jack 14 for me. I haven't blinded them. I think I'm going to do that sort of later in the year. I also, while we're at it, let's try with this guy. Remember this guy last year? Whiskey of the year? Let's see if it can hold up to Russell 15. Wow, the color. I mean, the color on that is just unbelievable. If you haven't had Russell's 15, you've got to get it. But this is maybe my favorite bottle in my collection. So we'll see how sipping this after that. Calumet 18 works. Oh, yeah. Russell 15 goes undefeated, right? It is sour cherry, deep, dark, sweet oak. I mean, those are the two main notes for me here, and it's what I love the most about turkey products. Russell 15 delivers. Let's get into it. Right off the bat, the complexity of, again, palate matches nose. That's that deep, dark, sour cherry is, I think maybe the difference in the cherry here, if I can. This is more of a sweet cherry with Calumet, with the Calumet 18. The Russell's 15 is that very complex sour cherry syrup. There's some similarities here when I talked about it being on like vanilla ice cream. Russell's does that, but in spades, right? You're going in and out of those sour cherry flavors. I get a little. You also get the spice, right? A little bit of that baking spice. It turns into almost like some anise there for a little bit. And then you're right back into that like creamy oak. Like this isn't a drying pour, right? With some heavily oaked, older age statement Kentucky whiskeys, right? The oak that I love can also become drying. Russell's doesn't do that. Calumet 18 gets a little closer to that drying effect, but it doesn't fully get there. It's unfair what I'm doing right now, by the way, putting this next to Calumet 18. But Russell 15 wins, but that's an obvious statement. Nothing really beats that. This is my favorite whiskey. Calumet 18, though, competes, and it deserves its spot, I think, among discussion for Whiskey of the Year. I love this pour. I look forward to sort of, as more of these LEs come out this year, taking them, putting them in a blind, because at the end of the day, you can't really trust what your favorite thing is, because you know what you spent on it, you know your favorite distilleries, you know you're kind of, you lean into those things you love. Again, if you don't blind things, I really suggest blind some of your favorite pours. You'll be surprised. But hey, you know, I'm really impressed with the 3 pours. I'm impressed with these 3 bottles. I think it's really exciting, actually, that we have a 7-year Old Fitzgerald bottle and bond that's going to be a shelfer for that price range. Really great bottle. I love this Starhill Farms. I think Maker's Mark hit it out of the park with this wheat whiskey. I'm super impressed. If you can find this for MSRP, get it. And then obviously the Calumet 18. Look at that beautiful bottle from the Vampire box. This is a great pour. It's expensive, but it might be worth it. All right. Well, cheers, everyone.